while I'm setting up my Instagram, just remember this next couple of weeks, Calm Black Friday is happening at Living the Good Life Naturally. And it is some of the best pricing of the year. We've got lots of different things planned for you, and we've got gifts that are going out and stickers that are going out. And I'd love to invite you, if you've ever been interested in starting magnesium or you're stocking up on magnesium, this is the time to do it. Welcome. We are talking hair loss today. This one is personal to me. And the reason why is many of you know I had a health crash over 25 years ago and ended up in a wheelchair, a bar, holding my head up because I didn't have the strength, having seizures and tubes, taking things in and out. And I was that way for about 3.5 years. Took a real toll on my family, financial toll, mental toll, physical toll, spiritual toll across the board. And I will never forget the day that I combed my hair and the brush was just full, and not the few strands, right? Like we're supposed to lose some hair, but not what I was doing. And then you could see my scalp. And I had always had very, very thick hair, like so thick that it was kind of almost too thick. And that was a complete turnaround for me. And I would love to know your thoughts on this. Comment. My hair is a part of my mental health, and my hair is also a part of my femininity. And I love my hair. It was incredibly stressful. In fact, we've laughed, not during the time, it took us quite a few years, but we've laughed now that some of the hardest part for me of that illness, and not the most, but pretty high up there on the list, was the hair loss. It was, my hair is my identity. If I'm wearing it curly, if I'm wearing it straight, if I've grown up long, if I've got it super, super short and an inch all over my head, my hair is a part of my identity. And I would love to know, does any of that resonate with you? Your femininity and your hair and your identity, my mental health, a bad haircut is something I'm learning how to work through and not let it get my emotions going. And losing it was stressful. I didn't understand why. Today, I want to focus on the foundations of one of the reasons I was losing my hair. Please remember, I'm not a doctor. I am not diagnosing you. I am not telling you what to do. I am sharing with you the things that helped me get my hair back healthy and strong and not falling out and not bald spots all over the place. One of the things here at Living the Good Life Naturally that I focus on, that I teach and work with clients to focus on, is the foundation. Have you built a strong foundation? I think sometimes it's so easy, especially when we become overwhelmed and burdened. It's incredibly easy to chase all of these different things. We run down this aisle at the health food store, and this helped our aunt, and so we grab that, and then we grab another thing and another thing, and we can forget that we need a foundation to put those things on top of. And not that those things are bad, but they're not going to work as well if you don't have that strong foundation. And you might have heard me talk about magnesium, right? Soaking in magnesium. That helps you build that strong foundation. Magnesium goes hand in hand with hair loss. Now, it's not the only thing with hair loss, though. The thing, that thing that 95 to 98%, depending on which study you read, that we are missing here in the United States that is one of those foundational pieces of hair loss is simple, and it's not exciting. It's not going to give you a dopamine rush where you get all excited about learning something new. You've heard it over and over and over and over again. But here is my question to you. Have you implemented it? Said with all the love in my heart. Have you implemented this? Fiber. Let's talk about why fiber is foundational. And no one can tell you how much fiber works for you. Wouldn't be appropriate for me to say it. No one, because how much fiber and the type of fiber that you take is absolutely determined by where your body is at, and your body's fiber needs will change. And interestingly enough, as you age, they say to drop your fiber, right? The recommended daily allowance becomes less. Here's what I've found personally and what I've seen across the board for other women, that digestion does decrease. And so it becomes harder to take in the fiber that we need, but figuring it out, my fiber needs actually increased during menopause, even though the recommended daily dose is telling you to decrease. If your body has enough fiber, it is taking the hormones that are old and broken, worn down, and used, and getting them out of your body. And hormones are almost always a part of why we have hair loss happening. And if your body is taking old, broken down, worn down cells and hormones to rebuild hormones, the rebuild isn't a strong rebuild. Fiber is incredible at taking down excess estrogen, at taking out xenoestrogens. So estrogens that look like estrogens but aren't really estrogens. We cannot have optimal hormone health and optimal hair without the appropriate level of fiber. Now, there are different types of fiber. And the different types of fiber, we need a blend. You know, how many times have we heard about gut health, gut health, gut health? And maybe you bought some probiotics. I know I used to a lot. I don't personally use probiotics like I used to. I use them very differently now. How many times did I buy a bottle of probiotics, but I never looked at my fiber needs that you get from food? To me, I was chasing that symptom instead of building a strong foundation and making sure I was using my food sources to get fiber. I want to share with you one of my favorite types of, I want to share with you a couple of my favorite types of fiber. And you might be thinking, Kristen, you always talk about magnesium. Why are you talking about fiber today? Because did you know that when you have enough fiber, it actually helps you absorb your magnesium more efficiently? I saw this in groups of women. When they increased their fiber, their magnesium levels went up, even though they weren't soaking more. Did you hear me? Because remember, yes, I forgot to bring my bottle, but I sell Living the Good Life Naturally magnesium soap. That's the cleanest, purest, and it's on sale right now. Calm Black Friday is happening. We've got lots of things happening over the next 3 weeks. And over the course of this 3 weeks, it's just all sorts of amazing prices that you don't see any other time of the year. That magnesium is the foundation. It opens the gateway to activate vitamin D, which you need for healthy hair. Okay, magnesium. But I also want you, the other part of living the good life naturally is teaching you how to use less of the magnesium that I sell. Because the bottom line principle of living the good life naturally is being a part of your journey and helping you wake up so you feel so good in the morning that you're creating all the ideas and dreams that have been in your heart that you maybe didn't have the energy to do. And that doesn't mean that every day you're bounding out of bed. There's still, you know, it's a journey. That's how it goes with health. It's not this straight line. And if you think it is, that might be perfectionism kicking you in the backside because it is a twisty journey, but we stick with it. We don't walk away from it. We continue imperfectly. I am living proof that imperfect action can create better health. I am healthier now than I was with my health crash. I've had some backslides, I've had some increases, and that's part of the journey. When you are soaking in that magnesium, I want to help you soak less. I want it to be efficient. One of the things I learned with my health crash when I was in that wheelchair, having seizures, not cognizant of my children, my family, or what was happening around me. That's how sick I was. As I came out of that, I realized I have lost so much time with my kids, right? My last daughter, I don't remember her learning how to talk or taking those first steps. I missed it. I missed that. And it was like I got better. And then at the same time, it hit me all the things that I've lost. And one of the things that I learned from that I want to share with you is my goal is minimum input. Minimum input for maximum output. That's why when you're soaking in magnesium soak from Living the Good Life Naturally, which is on sale right now over the next couple weeks for Calm Black Friday, when you're soaking in it, soak for 20 minutes, you've utilized up to about 80% of the magnesium. 45 minutes, you've utilized about 95, 98-ish% of the magnesium. Well, I'm okay just soaking 45 minutes. 80% is good to me. Sometimes do I soak longer? Absolutely I do. But I want that minimum input, maximum output. And then I think it's really important that you know your magnesium levels. Magnesium red blood cell saturation. There's a test that will tell you. Some women, it's really challenging for them to get their numbers to move. And there are numerous different reasons. Remember, magnesium shines the light on what's happening in your body. If your numbers aren't moving, it's time to put on your Encyclopedia Brown detective hat and let you and I figure out what's going on and choose a better adventure. Do you remember those books, Encyclopedia Brown? And you'd be like, go to page 22 or go here, and you could choose your own adventure while you read. Magnesium shines the light, and it is a creative process to put those pieces together. Fiber helps you uptake your magnesium more efficiently, even if you're not soaking more. Does that motivate you? Please tell me, does that motivate you to really look at your fiber intake and where you're getting it from? So let's hop back to some of my favorite types. I scrolled a little bit. Imagine that for me. Let's hop back to my favorite types of fiber. One is now, and remember, there are two types of fiber. There is soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. And fiber works better together. I've used this analogy before. My husband and I'm better with him. I'm good on my own, but I'm better with him. We fill each other in. And insoluble and soluble are very similar to a relationship in that they have a relationship. Both are good, but they work better together. And if you've heard about gut health and you want better gut health, insoluble fiber and soluble fiber together working as a team will help you build your gut health. Bean fiber. Now, if you have small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, you have to filter this entire life through your small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Everything. Healthy women have strong filters. And anything that you see on social media from myself or anyone else needs to be filtered through your own experience. I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing or diagnosing or telling you what to do. When you add appropriate amounts of fiber, and fiber is something that needs to be added low and slow. If you just jump in, like I do, about 40 grams of fiber a day. And if you just jump in and you go to 40 grams of fiber a day, you could be miserable and cause issues. Wherever you're at right now, it's low and slow, adding it. Soluble and insoluble, they work together. Fiber can help move your bowels, your stools more efficiently so they don't just sit there and ferment. Fiber also can take out heavy metals and broken down hormones, specifically estrogen. It bulks you up so you feel full. If you're someone who never feels full, it could be a fiber issue. And then typically people who don't feel full, they tend to snack. And every time you snack, your blood sugars get affected when there's that little snack coming in. And typically when you're in that snacking mode, not always, but typically it's not always the most health promoting things you're choosing. Fiber helps walk you away from never feeling full at all. And the two work together. So it's not just soluble, it's not just insoluble. I get fiber from a supplement and I get fiber from food. I do both. That helps me meet my goals. I am not a purist and I only get it from food. But I do have to tell you this. I've been using a fiber supplement and liked it. Wasn't perfect, but it was decent. And ordered a couple bottles. I tend to stock up if there's something I use a lot. I don't want to have to order it every month. I like to just have 6 to 12 there on my shelf. And just efficiency of time and the time it takes to order it. And I just ordered more. Company got sold. Founder was hired as a consultant, so it doesn't look like the company got sold. And the ingredients are garbage now and not something that I will repurchase. I don't have a favorite fiber supplement. I'm researching it and I will share with you when I do. I thought I had one, but I don't. Anyway, so insoluble and soluble together. We need both. They work better together. We've talked about beans, bean fiber. We've talked about SIBO. If you've got small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, filter all this information through your gut. I love bean fiber for hormones. I have never seen anything boost hormone balance like bean fiber and omega-3s. If I had to pick 3 things to focus on to bring my hormones into better balance, soaking in magnesium, and it's on sale, called Black Friday. Adding bean fiber and adding omega-3s. That would be where I would start. No matter if it was a 14-year-old girl or someone who's in perimenopause or someone who's in menopause. Those to me, for myself, and as I've watched over the next year, did you realize this next year is 25 years the company? We're going to do something special. My husband told me that today. I'm like, oh, we have to make a sticker, like a 25-year sticker. Anyway, but those to me are foundational. Bean fiber is really interesting though. And food, Donna, is the number one place that I look first for my fiber. No supplement can replace the power of fiber in food. A lot of times people say, oh, I cannot eat beans. I just cannot eat beans. I want to ask if someone, 25 years, Donna, 25 years, I have been talking magnesium, which is mind-boggling to me. It's just mind-boggling to me. Thank you for the congratulations. That was a total squirrel moment. Bean fiber, a lot of people will say, oh, Kristen, I can't eat beans. It makes me gassy. I bloat. Well, let's back up a little bit and ask ourselves why before we discount this whole amazing food. Number one, bean fiber is not exactly the same across all beans. For example, kidney beans are not a good fit for me. Not a good fit. Black beans and white beans are my beans. And that big butter bean, I love that one too. You can like really creamy white soups and things. Ooh, if I get, oh, no worries, Donna, no worries though. If I get really on top of things, I'll send out I've got a couple of bean recipes and I'll send those out to my email newsletter. Bean fibers are not the same though. And if I had just tried kidney beans and thought, oh, beans aren't good for me, try other beans. If one bean doesn't sit well with you, and don't try a half a cup when you start, go for a tablespoon. See how you do. Beans are powerful. They're really powerful food. And the other thing, if you're not digesting beans well, why? Do you have the enzymes to break them down? So adding in enzymes to help you utilize that powerful food can also be helpful. Looking at beans, if it's a good fit for you, some people don't want to eat them. They think the carbs are too high. For me, they work beautifully and my body handles them well because I worked with it with enzymes and finding the right kind of bean in the right quantity. Because if you start with half a cup of beans, you might be miserable. If you have small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, beans could be brutal for you until you get on top of that small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So bean fiber is, I can't say enough about it. And remember, not all bean fiber is the same. So try different ones. And beans that you've made at home are much easier that you've soaked and then cooked at home are much easier to digest than beans that you find on a shelf at the grocery store. But that doesn't mean that we should have guilt trips if we don't have fresh cooked beans, right? If beans at the grocery store, that's where you're starting, awesome. Imperfect action, that's where you're starting. I'm so excited that you're getting beans in. And I think that's where we can kind of beat ourselves up. If we know that home cooked beans are easier to digest, but it just isn't fitting in the schedule yet. And so we've done a canned bean and rinsed it off really well, but then we're beating ourselves up that it's not that home cooked bean. We're adding more stress when we say we're trying to eat healthier. Like, really watch that one. I think it happens much more than we think it does. And so if you're adding canned beans, right now I'm doing canned beans. It's called Black Friday, baby. And it is busy. Like this is my busiest time of the year besides the traditions and things that I do with my family. I'm not cooking my own beans right now. I'm doing them from a can and rinsing them really well and calling it good. Okay, so bean fiber. We've talked about bean fiber. Oh, we've talked about bean fiber, the benefits, low and slow, building that up for hair growth. Remember, this is all tied into hair growth, thinning hair, loss of hair, alopecia, even if it's autoimmune. Building up your gut and making sure that you have the proper fiber for your body is a part of the foundation of getting your hair to grow again. And then the other things you do add on top of that are more efficient because you've got a better balanced gut because of insoluble and soluble fiber. Okay, so another food that I absolutely love, and then I'm going to click over. Shelly's put up a lot of questions about that people have got on Insta. So I'm going to finish up the 2 foods, and then I'm going to go to questions over here on Instagram. Instagram usually wins in questions. So I'll hit those questions from Instagram. The other 2 foods that I love are apples. But let's talk about how we prepare them. The skin of the apple is loaded with fiber, pectin. But we get more benefit if that apple is cooked. I remember my grandma always having what she called stewed apples on the back of her stove. And then she would cool them down. Sometimes you'd eat them hot, and sometimes you'd eat them cooled down. Grandma wisdom at its finest. The fiber in the skin of that apple, once it's been cooked, and the apple skin will go translucent. That's when you've reached peak optimal levels of your body being able to access the pectin in the skin of that apple and utilizing it. And so I like to just put just enough water. I use however many apples. Sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 3, just depending. I cut those up into bite-sized pieces with the skin on. I put it in a pan. I cover it. I put enough water in that the apples are not completely covered, that there's some little tips of the apples still showing. And then I just cook them on low, couple stirs, making sure that I'm watching it. When that skin goes translucent, that's when you have optimal. Put it in your fridge, cool it down, and it gets even better for your body. It's like rice. When you cool down rice, you take away the impact of what it does to spike your blood sugar. And the apples are the same way. It increases your body's ability to utilize the fiber in the apple skin. You can use them hot. You can eat them cold. I like to sprinkle some cinnamon on, and they are delicious. Apples, cooking them. And you can cook them once for the week and then just eat a little bit off the week. That's what I do. I make typically, not always, but typically, I will cook up a whole bunch for the week, and then my husband and I just eat off of that. And so it's easy. On Sunday, I'm stewing apples like my grandma used to, because she had wisdom, and she probably didn't, I'm pretty sure she didn't know any of the studies. It was just grandma wisdom. And I think sometimes we can walk away from that grandma wisdom, and that's when we can get caught into chasing symptoms. And if you've got a cupboard full of supplements and you can't remember why you bought them, or you're taking them and you're not feeling better, that might be a sign you're chasing symptoms. That's why here at Living the Good Life Naturally, we build a strong foundation. We get the basics in. Magnesium. activates our vitamin D. When we soak in magnesium, we fill that interstitial space with magnesium. It has been shown to take our stored vitamin D into our active vitamin D, which helps hair health. We focus on our fiber, which helps hair loss and hair growth and hair thinning and hormones and blood sugar control. If you're having a hard time keeping your blood sugar down, fiber helps. It actually makes it easier for your body and you don't spike as much. And when you don't spike as much, your body is healthier all the way around. Cells are communicating better at that foundational level. It's getting those basics in. Okay, so let's see. We talked about what ones did I do? We talked about, what did I talk about? Apples. We talked about, bean fiber. Okay, which one should I pick for my third? Chia seeds. But preparing the chia seed correctly makes a difference of how beneficial that the fiber will be for you. When you're doing chia seeds, if they're appropriate for you, if you have diverticulitis, chia seeds, you take this information, you throw it out the window until you've got that diverticulitis healed, because chia seeds can get stuck in those little pockets and cause agony. If you are not hydrated enough and you take chia seeds and they're not properly gelled, I have known people to go to the emergency room in the most incredible, intense pain in their gut. They're powerful. You have to respect what they do and recognize that you must put some prep into them. When you take chia, here's my favorite way. I make it once a week also. Now, it will last longer in your fridge, but I can't remember. Has that been in there 2 weeks? Or has it been in there 5 weeks? Or has that been in there 2 days? And so I just refresh our chia on Sunday. It's just something that I do on Sunday, and I prep that chia gel. You want that gel to sit. The longer it sits and gels, like not just 5 minutes, but it creates chia gel, that's where you're getting maximum benefit from the fiber in the chia gel. And you can cook with it, and it doesn't change the fiber content. I tend to put it in my drinks. I have lots of different little drink concoctions that I do, and I put it in there. Okay, yesterday, my daughter just brought me some water. So yesterday, I got kind of called out when a couple people came in the shop because you had come in on the side of the, whoops, my mic's moving now. You had come in on the side of the wall, not to be seen on camera, and I didn't even see you until
I'm all suited up for
you popped
line
in.
work.
And then I kind of, Megan, come on camera. And they were like, she did not want to come on camera.
No.
And so I'm not asking you to come on camera today, but I do want to tell you what she's doing. Can you hear her laughing? Oh, that's Megan. Meg, as she goes by. She's making bath bombs, people. Just saying, bath bombs are coming back, and it's because of her. She figured out a way that we can make it work without having to add more space in our warehouse, because if I have to add another warehouse, that costs a lot more money. She's figured out a way to do it. Bath bomb, like soon, like you're in production
really
today.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I don't know if they can hear me, but yes, we're in production.
Yeah. Oh, here,
We're in production today, and I've got everyone on team scurrying around getting these done, and they're turning out beautifully. And it's been,
okay,
oh my gosh. Okay. So I've trained so many people over the years to do bath bombs, like so many people over the years. And yesterday I was like, okay, we'll just do a practice batch. And I had a lot of old kind of bulk ingredients. So I thought, you know what, they can make these, doesn't matter how they turn out, because this is a practice run, and they can take these home. And literally every single bath bomb was sellable. Team did freaking amazing.
Your bath
I
bomb
was
clean.
literally like jumping up and down for joy. It was incredible. Yeah, so I'm
Because
really
in the
excited.
past- In the past, it's taken.
Oh,
like
it's
3
taken,
weeks.
yeah, to get people fully
Is that,
trained.
like,
And everyone we have on staff right now is
nailed it.
just incredible. And their attention to detail is incredible. And I'm so excited. So today we're working on lemon tree, and I opened up a new bottle of that Italian lemon that we put in, and it smells incredible over there. Oh my gosh. We also have a new source for the cocoa butter, and it's just rich and just so yummy. And it adds this like depth of scent to the bath bomb. I
Because it's not
cannot
processed.
wait for people
When-
to put these in their baths.
when cocoa butter is processed so that it doesn't, if you can't smell it like cocoa butter, you're not getting the nutrients from the cocoa butter. And so our new sourcing is just fantastic. Oh, what was that, Shelley?
Smells heavenly.
Yeah, Shelley just said it smells
Oh.
heavenly. Anyway, but a little squirrel there, but I think, Shelley, would you agree that bath bombs are the #1 requested?
Yes.
When are your bath bombs
Yeah.
coming back?
Absolutely.
And Meg's pretty proud of those bath bombs. They are her creation, her formulation, because most bath bombs are a dry bomb with Epsom salts or magnesium flakes. That's a whole nother video. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not gonna squirrel. Anyway, does not meet my standard. Ours is a wet bomb that has magnesium sea brine chloride. And it's because of this daughter over here that has hairnets and
Yeah, I'm
aprons.
suited up.
She's suited up for warehouse work. It's because of her that those bath bombs are here. And the fact how she figured out how to make it work in the same space without having to add the expense of adding another. And we love warehouses. It just, it's always a balance to keep
Yes.
everything because we don't want to raise prices. We want to make it work and all those things. Anyway, so it's
Crouch
because
water,
of her.
Drink it all. I'll bring you more.
Yes, ma'am. That's the big boss. That's the big boss right there. Okay, so we talked about chia seeds and gelling them. And ideally, your chia seeds are going to gel for a couple hours before you use them. And a lot of people will say, oh, I take chia seeds for the omegas. But let's talk about that a little bit, because we have talked about omegas are an important factor to stop hair loss. It's really tough for your body to uptake the omegas in a chia, even if it's gel. I don't look to chia for my omega sources. It's either 9 or 12 steps that your body has to have everything in place. And so I look to my omegas for in a different source than chia. I do take chia gel because it is so good for your gut, if appropriate for your body. It's so good for your gut and such a great way to add fiber. And then a really simple way that you can do that is just keep your chia gel in your fridge. And I just take a scoop out, add it to water, add a little bit of lemon to that. Sometimes I'll add other, just other little things to it. Like if I need some apple cider vinegar, just different things. Add it to that and then drink it. I like adding that little bit of fresh lemon because it makes me think of, I guess, the experience of smelling it. My body goes, oh, lemonade. I have a little bit of a texture issue with the chia, just tiny bit, not a lot, but tiny bit of texture issue. And adding the lemon I don't know, it changes it for me because maybe it just feels like, oh, I got a little lemon seed. I got a little lemon seed. And it depends on your ratio. I like 4 or 5 to 1. So 1 part chia to 4 or 5 parts water. That's the ratio I like for my chia gel, but you might like it really, 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 really thick, and you might like it 1 part water to 3 parts chia. The only way you're going to know is if you try it and play with it a little bit. Okay, Tracy just said, when will the bath bombs be available? Boxes have landed. Sticker for the box has been ordered. Bath bombs are in production. Before they can be shipped, they have to dry for a minimum of 4 days. And so we're really close. We're really, really, really close. And I now feel very comfortable saying, Shelley, what was the last day of shipping?
The 13th.
Of December.
Yes.
So the last day that Living the Good Life Naturally can get orders to you in time for Christmas is the 13th of December. And I feel very, very comfortable saying bath bombs will be ready before the 13th of December. Yeah, pretty proud of that. Pretty proud of that. Okay, we've got some questions. And I would love to hit those. Shelley has done a great job of copying and pasting. It's different on Instagram where they show up. And let's see, I'll flip back to, Mary says hello. Megan, I will tell Mary that. Yes. Oh, Morgan, my husband's on here too. It's a family affair. You're getting all of us. Morgan says magnesium infused bath bombs. And it's not Epsom and it's not magnesium flakes that we're infusing. It is the sea brine. And to get a bath bomb to fizz and get that little experience in the bathtub with sea brine magnesium, to my knowledge, we are the only ones. And I have to admit, we sat team down and they all had to sign contracts that this is non-disclosable information. You do not teach other people. This is very proprietary. And it's my daughter's. She's the one that figured that out. I gave up after a couple of years and she worked on it probably another 5 to 6 years after I was like, I can't put any more time on this. She loves bath bombs and she wanted a bath bomb that didn't dry her skin out. And most of the bath bombs that we had tried either gave her a rash or completely dried her skin out, and she loves them. And so that's why she stuck with it. And we're really excited about those. Oh, Dawn, the video connection stopped on my end. It could be Instagram. Dang it. Did Instagram stop?
It's still going.
Okay. I'll hurry fast on Instagram because Instagram, I can't stream as long. So let me flip back. Instagram, it will cut off after a certain amount of time. So I'm going to Instagram right now. I have to soak in Epsom salts every evening for over a year now. Does that help my hair? In my opinion, no, because we're activating vitamin D when we get our interstitial magnesium levels up to cell saturation, and Epsom salts cannot do that. Number one, they're magnesium sulfate. Number two, they're processed and they can't move your magnesium red blood cell number, which means your interstitial number is not where it needs to be to activate your stored in vitamin D. Your stored vitamin D into active vitamin D, they are good at relaxing muscles. So it's not that you're not doing anything. They're not getting you to cell saturation. That would be like if my sisters were here. I have one sister that is a beautiful seamstress, like legit. She can draft her patterns and her girls would go, oh, I want this part of that dress and this part of that dress. And my sister would make it and it looked beautiful. If you asked me to do that, clueless, couldn't do that. And magnesium sulfate, you can't ask it to do something that it's not set up to do. And Epsom salts cannot get you to cell saturation. And we do have magnesium soak, which does get people to cell saturation. It's been doing it for almost 25 years now. And this next 3 weeks is our best sales of the year. And we've got lots of fun things happening throughout the time. And would love to have you either start soaking now or stock up for your soaking with the pricing. This is my gratitude sale. I don't buy into that crazy stomp over people. It's calm Black Friday. This is my gratitude sale. And for locals, you can pick up locally. And it has been lovely connecting with people. It has been joyful and lovely just seeing people I haven't seen for a long time and meeting some new people. Hashimoto's. Oh, Hashimoto's. Shelley, will you help me remember this. Let's do a whole video on Hashi's. Hashi's is, you've got to address Hashi's very specifically. And Hashi's does tend to keep your vitamin D really low. And you can't, Rochelle, she's like reaching across Griffin. There are ways that you can get that vitamin D up. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to stick with it. You have to be consistent, not perfectly. But walking away from Hashi's, it's okay. So the real something florist, I can't get in and out of a bathtub. Can I use oral magnesium? My goal with magnesium is that I am achieving cell saturation so that the interstitial spaces in my body, I'm creating a magnesium rich environment like the ocean. Remember, Calm Black Friday is happening right now. Over this next, during Calm Black Friday, we've got our best pricing, all sorts of different things that are happening and different types of sales that are happening. And oral magnesium cannot get you there. Are there benefits from oral magnesium? Sure. It cannot move the interstitial red blood cell because it's processed and you would have to take so much of it, you would have digestive issues. And anytime, this is my pet peeves with Epsom and Dead Sea salts and magnesium flakes, no matter where they come from, is when you process them, they lose their ability to activate your vitamin D. And that's why I'm utilizing magnesium. So matching your goals with what magnesium you use becomes really important. And so the Real Florist, you can just soak your feet. You can just use a casserole, a Pyrex casserole dish, and just this much water in the bottom with a 1/4 cup of magnesium, and you do not have to get in and out of the bathtub. And if we want to get technical, because it's not your skin that absorbs the magnesium, it's your sweat glands. And there are more sweat glands in your feet than any other part of your body. And that is how the magnesium is utilized and taken into your body, is through sweat glands. Where there are studies out there that say, your skin cannot uptake it. Well, technically it's the sweat glands in the skin that are uptaking that. And so your feet, it's not less efficient to get that magnesium in your body. It's equally efficient. I thought a bath would be more efficient because more of your body is exposed to it, but it's not. It's the same. And so taking a bath, we want to soak a minimum of 20 minutes. In that 20 minutes, you've utilized about 80% of the magnesium in the water. Oh, you missed it. Tracy, beans, bean fiber. Find your bean that you love the taste and that works well with your body. Start low and slow. And that bean fiber is one of the most powerful foods for taking out excess estrogen and really bringing balance to those hormones. It has been shown. I hate to say that, so I'm not making claims. It has been shown too. There. Oh, Mandy paints. I'd love to see what you paint. Oh, maybe Manda paints. So glad you were able to be here with us today. Oh, Tracy, bean recipes. Yes, we, after we get through Calm Black Friday and we take a big breath, take a little break from Calm Black Friday, I'll really focus on some bean dishes because they are dishes that are simple and easy. And one of the things that my daughter and I are going to do is we're starting a cooking show. But listen to this. We don't have a kitchen cooking show. No kitchen cooking show because we'll do it from in here and there's no kitchen in here. And so it's things that have to be really super and really simple because we don't have a kitchen here. One day I will. One day I'll have a beautiful kitchen with Smeg appliances to do cooking demonstrations from. But right now we don't have that. And so we'll do a no cooking show, and Megan and I will do it together. She actually went to culinary school, so I'll be her helper. And we just want to show you all sorts of simple things that we do at home to help keep eating healthy super easy and fast and efficient. Okay. Oh, apples in a crock pot, just as good. Absolutely a crock pot. I don't have a lot of counter space, so I tend not to use a crock pot just because I'm very limited on my space. But absolutely, you want to go low. And once those apple skins are translucent, you're good to go. Oh, Colleen says, I am so, with lots of O's, excited about the bath bombs coming back. The lemon is my favorite. Thank you, Megan. Literally, I didn't think it'd ever come back until we had maybe 3 more warehouse bays. But she made it work. It's a different way, so be prepared. It's a different way of how they'll be purchased. But that makes it that we can make it work in the same amount of space without having to up the monthly outgo for bays, because the amount I pay every month for warehouse space, mind-boggling to me. And when will they be available, says Tracy. I don't have an exact date. The boxes are here. Stickers have been ordered, waiting for those to land. Tissue paper, packaging, all of that is here, and they are in production today. It usually takes almost a month to train someone to do these, and Team just picked it up like they've been doing it. They are the queen of bath bombs, making bath bombs. And so I'm very comfortable saying that by mid-December, and probably before that, but by mid-December, they'll be ready to go. Oh, Jana Lee, I'm so glad you asked this. If my feet break out in calluses when I soak, what should I do? I have a philosophy that magnesium shines the light on what your body needs, if you understand the communication. And flaky, peeling skin is typically an omega-3 imbalance, and we need more omega-3s, and it's the feedback that we're getting. And calluses is typically high cortisol and acid mantle imbalance on your skin. And again, it's not 100%, but most of the time that's what it is. And so eating foods that will help reduce cortisol, like yogurt is a great, it helps mop up cortisol. Honey on top of that yogurt, if appropriate for you. Some people can't do honey because it spikes their blood sugars, but as you get that taken care of, honey on top of yogurt is just a beautiful way to help mop up the cortisol in your body. Doing nervous system movements I'll be sharing some more on my magnesium masterclass that's coming up on December 2nd. And I'd love to have you join us for that. You do have to join the email newsletter to get that. Cindy asks, is the Mag Lotion a viable source for cell saturation? And this is a great question, Cindy. And remember, all of our magnesium is on sale right now. The magnesium soak, the magnesium spray, the magnesium muscle cream, the magnesium lotion, the magnesium cocoa and cream, all of our lip balms, and our desiccated liver, which also, if you're not holding on to your magnesium and your numbers are not moving for how much soaking that you've done, adding desiccated liver, it has the cofactors that help you hold on to magnesium. And that's on sale right now too. And please remember, my company is different, and I'm proud of that it's different. I do not just buy product to put in a bottle and sell to make profit. That it's not what I do. It has to pass my standards, which my husband says sometimes are out of control, but it has to pass that standard. And I got a batch of the desiccated liver. It sold out in very quickly, just a couple of days. The second batch was already ordered when it came in. I can't get more. and I'm looking for more that meets the standard, I won't just buy desiccated liver just to throw it in, because if it's not grass-fed, grass-finished, if it's not processed slowly, it loses the B vitamins, which is one of the most important cofactors on holding on to your magnesium, is that whole food B vitamin. And so I won't just, I mean, yeah, I could make a telephone call right now and have desiccated liver sent over to the lab, but that's not how Living the Good Life Naturally, that goes against our core principle, my core principle of making sure that it is food that builds your foundation strongly. And that's on sale right now, and it's limited quantities. When that's gone, I don't have more to restock that. And so if you love the desiccated liver, and you don't want to be without it, this is a great time to stock up. I'm someone who, especially after 2020, I like to have, if I'm using it and there's the shelf life, I like to have between 6 and 12 in my stock so that I'm not running out. It also just saves time because I don't have to constantly be ordering it. Okay, so back, oh, I scrolled again. Back to the magnesium lotion, Cindy. It is on sale right now. It's a great time to stock up. We've got gifts. We've got some of our lotions, our Christmas scents that you receive as a gift. You know, just lots of different gifts going on right now when you place your order. And the magnesium lotion is a relaxing dose, not a therapeutic dose. It is really good for young children and those who are very sensitive and want to take a very gentle step into magnesium on their body. Magnesium lotion on its own will not get you to cell saturation. Because of the emulsification system that a lotion has, no matter the type of emulsification system that's used, you cannot get enough in there to get the majority of people to cell saturation because we're so deficient. Oh, and flip back to that fiber thing with me, a little squirrel moment. I don't think I said this. 95 to 98% of us are deficient in fiber. If you are deficient in fiber, you're not holding on to your magnesium and you're not uptaking your magnesium efficiently. Adding fiber helps your magnesium so that you're using less. The two go hand in hand. So making sure that your fiber needs are being met that are appropriate for your body. If you go too fast, you'll be miserable. If you're not hydrated, you can cause problems, constipation, dry bowels. And so it's not something you just jump into. You have to take it slow and you have to play with it a little bit. You have to build a relationship. For example, I wouldn't just show up at your house and walk in the front door if I'd never met you before, right? We have to build a relationship. We have to, get to know each other, our upsides, our downsides, our fun sides, our quirky sides, our not so great sides. That's what creates a relationship. And you have, well, in my opinion, that's what I've done with my supplements. I create a relationship with them and I start slow. Figure out how is my body responding to this. And again, it's because I want minimum input with maximum output. I call it the lazy girl's way to health because I've got other things I want to do. I want to go hang out with my grandkids. I want to be with my kids. I have one son that's totally into bonsai right now. He's a financial investment and person. And so he works with like billions of dollars and his stress can get really high, and the bonsais have absolutely helped him balance that. And I want to go see his bonsai trees. I don't want to be spending my whole day getting healthy. I'm getting healthy to live a full life and be with people that I love. And so minimum input, maximum output is Living the Good Life Naturally's foundational principle that drives us. I think I actually got, we've got some more questions over here on Facebook. Let's see. Oh, Shelly's been adding all the links that I've been talking about. Does this help if you have a fatty liver? both things that we've talked about today help with fatty liver. It's not that you do both of those things and fatty liver is gone, because fatty liver, you have to look at how your blood sugars are reacting to when you eat, and how the insulin and glucose, where they're at. Are they penetrating the cell? Are you making too much? But magnesium and fiber both play a role in helping to regulate those. And so absolutely, it's a part of the process to get on top of that. And fatty liver used to only be for alcoholics. And now I see women across the board getting that diagnosis of fatty liver. And what drives that is blood sugar issue. In fact, who was that asked about that? Oh, Laurie. I have a video. I think the easiest place to search for videos is on YouTube on my lives. And if we just lost our Instagram. If you will search magnesium morning trifecta, that's where I would focus if I'd gotten the diagnosis. But remember, you are the CEO of your health. I've got to stop my thing from moving all over the place. Supposedly this locks it. I think it did. I'm not diagnosing. I'm not telling you what to do. Sharing with you, that's where I would start if I had been handed that diagnosis of fatty liver. Desiccated liver is good for so many things. It is a strong copper. So it's got strong copper levels. It's got whole food vitamin Bs. It has the most usable iron, and it helps you build your ability to store iron. It's one of those power foods. And it's also one of those foods that because the optimal dosage is 4, a lot of people can't take 4 because they can't digest it. It's so high in nutrients. It takes a lot of hydrochloric acid to digest. It was so exciting. My husband took it for 2 months, just 1 a day. That's all his body could do was 1 a day. And for him, he went from being having anemia to his numbers look great, and they were just like, this is fabulous, it's gone. Shows that your iron levels are good now. That's how powerful desiccated liver is. Now, I'm not saying that will be your experience. I shared with you my husband's experience. It's one of those things that I never want to be without. It has so many layers of support for my body. It has been delightful being with you today. Remember, we are ending magnesium deficiency by 2055 by soaking in sea brine, undiluted magnesium, never processed from flakes. Magnesium flakes can help relax your muscles. There's so much more magnesium has to offer you. If you want that, you need undiluted sea brine magnesium from the cleanest source, from the Zechstein Inside in the Netherlands, the only mine that has the European Union certification for topical use. And that's where my magnesium comes from. And my promise to you is it's never diluted. My family is still here, hands-on, making sure we're a part of every bottle that's being filled. We definitely have help now from Team Good Life, but we are here at the warehouse, and it is my promise is if it has my name on it, will never be diluted ever. That's the magnesium that fills that interstitial space, because the goal is ending magnesium deficiency by 2055 in our children and our grandparents and ourselves and in those babies being born. Magnesium doesn't heal everything. It does start the healing for everything. Building a strong foundation is what finally took me from that wheelchair to feeling good, waking up in the morning having the energy to follow through on those dreams and desires that I had for my family, for myself, and for my company. Building a strong foundation, and it starts with soaking in magnesium. Calm Black Friday is the best time to stock up if you've already used magnesium, or if you've never used magnesium but you're interested and you want to learn about it. This is the next couple weeks, the best pricing that I can offer on magnesium happening during Calm Black Friday. It was delightful being with you. Have the best day. For those of you that are stopping by the warehouse today, I can't wait to see you. I'll be posting some fun pictures that we took yesterday. You don't have to have your picture taken if you don't want to, but man, oh man, if you want to hang out with me and take a picture, I'd love to. I'll be here most of the day. I have a couple errands to run, lunch break I'll be taking, but I would love to connect with you. Have the best day. Bye-bye.